To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps on this side of the veil, welcome. This is the Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Shawn Whttington. I'm a seminarian in the United States Old Catholic Church, and I'm coming to you live from my haunted house, my very haunted house, where I live. Been quiet today. I'll debunk something right off the bat now. uh, Many people reach out to me after the show saying, I saw this behind you during the show, or I heard this on my headphones while listening to the broadcast. All of the banging that you may hear during the show, just outside my office window here, one backyard over, my neighbor's in his backyard building something. So there's a lot of hammering and sawing going on. So if you hear that, it's probably that, not paranormal. But I have two dear friends on uh, tonight, and I know that's why you all tuned in. I love them both. I respect them both. I can count on one hand the truly gifted psychic mediums and spirit channels uh, that I know, and there are two of them. And we already spoke a little bit in the green room, and I know they have a message for all of us for Christmas time from a very special person. So I will bring them on as soon as I can. Let's check the prayer urn. Amy C. from Texas. I personally know quite a few people that are feeling so hopeless these days. Some Catholic, some Christian, and some non denomination. Could you say a prayer for all those feeling hopeless that the Holy Spirit comes to them this Christmas? That is a beautiful, beautiful request, Amy, and I most certainly will. And I know who I'm going to try to find a prayer to the Holy Spirit. Well, this is a beautiful one. Guys, if you want to offer any love and light up to this prayer uh, for Amy, just touch your computer screen. And as I pray the words, just bow your head, close your eyes, and concentrate on the words. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit, I offer this prayer up for Amy. Holy Spirit of light and love, to you I consecrate my heart, mind, and will for time and eternity. May I be ever docile to your divine inspirations and to the teachings of the Holy Catholic Church, whose infallible guide you are. May my heart be ever inflamed with the love of God and love of neighbor. May my will be ever in harmony with your divine will. May my life faithfully imitate the life and virtues of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. To him, with the Father and you, divine Spirit, be honor and glory forever. Amen. Keep in touch, Amy. I would like to know how your Christmas is going for you and your family and your close friends. Okay, let's check the Paranormal Ministry mailbag. Patrick B. from Pennsylvania. My wife's from Pennsylvania. Hey, Rev, do you still ghost hunt or now just work demonic cases? I haven't just gone out to ghost hunt, just to ghost hunt in forever. Do I miss it? At times, yeah, I do miss going out on a good paranormal investigation, but I do get a lot of that. And so no, when I leave the house here, I have a list right now longer than my arm of current paranormal cases that I'm juggling, but I usually don't leave the house and physically go to a location now unless I really need to go, and we know what that would mean. So and that's a good question to ask my guests tonight because in addition to everything they used to not only own a haunted antique store, but they used to live near a famous haunted location. And so I'm going to ask them if they miss. That's a great question for them too, Patrick. Okay, guys, if there's anything you want to know about my wife and I and our ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone.biz. If you go there to visit, there's a lot of cool things to see. Keep in mind that my wife and I don't charge for our ministry work, helping people with their paranormal issues. So, I know times are tough. Trust me, I know. But if you notice the donate button and you're able to do so, click on it and send our ministry in a small donation. I promise you, it'll be appreciated from the bottom of our hearts. And trust me, we'll put it to good use. I am also a certified spiritual advisor. So if you're having issues of a spiritual nature, not attached to the paranormal, and you'd like to make an appointment to speak with me about those issues, there is a place on the website where you can make an appointment with me. Don't leave the website without navigating over to the page called the WSE course/book. On that page, you'll find the Ghost Store. A lot of cool things to purchase on there if you go for that sort of stuff. And part of the proceeds of every sale of every item on there goes to support some very world wild, worthy, off the charts worthy um, things that I like to donate to, causes, if you will. Scroll down to that, you'll see my new haunted autobiography at the bottom of that page. God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry, and I quote, scariest book I ever published. That was Annette Munich, owner of Stellium Books, my publisher. But don't let that scare you off of purchasing a copy. If you haven't done your good deed for the day yet, part of the proceeds of every sale of every copy of my book goes to support stjude.org, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Nevada, and the ASPCA. So it's a no-brainer. You get to help some of the neediest children on the planet and the animals too. How cool is that? You can get my book from me personally. You can order it off the website and it leaves my office. I autograph it and it comes to you in a house blessing kit. Or you can get it a little less expensive at Amazon. A lot of people that have purchased the book from me have reported to me experiencing some paranormal activity when they get the book. The book could be haunted. If you are one of those people, reach out to me. Tell me your story. Your story might end up in a book or a show. You never know. But I'd like to hear about your experiences once you've received my book. Great time to get the first book, too, because just around the corner, God, Ghosts, and the Paranormal Ministry 2, Chronicles of an American Exorcist, will be coming out. And there are some stories in one that I left open ended because I hadn't brought closure to them yet. And I give updates to those stories in part two. So, scroll a little further down on that page, you'll see the Worldwide Society of Exorcists, which I'm a founding member. I offer a 12-week online college level course, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare, through the WSE. And this is the course for all you true warriors for Christ out there that feel a calling and a longing to want to have more knowledge when it comes to drawing your line in the sand, making a stand, putting up a good fight against, God forbid, true evil if it ever comes calling. That's the course for you. You can enroll in the course at the website. If you want more information about the course before making that type of commitment, there is a Worldwide Society of Exorcists Facebook page. Or just call me. Talk to me about the course. We'll see if it's right for you. No, it's not a course that's going to teach you how to be an exorcist. That's a completely different calling. This is exactly what it is, Introduction to Spiritual Warfare through my eyes and what I've learned over many, many years of uh, deliverance ministry in just spiritual warfare. So there you have it. Most importantly, please keep all my future students, current students, and past students in your prayers. All my students that graduate get a stunning diploma, certificate of completion, suited for framing, along with some other very special blessed gifts that you can only get from yours truly. Okay, the moment of truth, the reason why you all tuned in. If I could, they're so busy. That's why I don't reach out to them more. But if I could have them on every week, I would. Brothers and sisters, you all know them. You all love them. Um, the most famous world-renowned psychic medium spirit channel lovebird duo in the industry under our paranormal umbrella. And I love them both. Here they are. Welcome to the show, Barry and Connie Strom.
Good evening, and thank you.
After that, I was wondering who you were talking about. I thought, darn, he cut us out of the show. He got somebody else here.
Let me tell you two lovebirds something. This will be the first time I've had you on where I don't embarrass you and show everybody that beautiful gift you got me years ago. But I'm going to tell everybody about it. I'll tell you why I don't have it here in front of me to to show everybody. First of all, it's a framed, beautifully antique framed antique color etching from an antique Martin Luther Bible from back in the day of David and Goliath, which that David and Goliath story speaks to me a lot because of the kind of work that I do. I've never had anyone send me a gift like that before. So I used to always have it set right here on my desk, and then I used to love to embarrass you guys when you came on and showed it to you. But this is what I did with it. I came into my possession it's about half my size, almost as big as I am, crucifix with corpus on it that sat on an altar in a Carmelite nuns convent in their chapel for many years, and they were trying to liquidate some things and make some money for the church. So I purchased that. When you walk in my front door, you can make an immediate left into the kitchen. You walk down a very short hallway. You can make another left into the living room, or a right down a long hallway to the bedrooms. But on that wall that you first see when you walk in is this cross. On one side of the cross is a beautiful gold St. Michael font that's always filled with holy water. But on the right, I've got mounted your beautiful etching that you guys sent me. And people that see it just fall in love with it and go, "Where did you get that?" And I go, two dear people that, dear friends of mine that I met many years ago that. So that's why I don't have it here on the desk. But
You're forgiven.
okay, I'm going to throw this out there. I told you this in the green room that I know what you guys do is so draining on you that if you didn't want to channel tonight, you couldn't. You said, "Oh, no. We have someone here very special with a message." Now, this is what I will offer you. I have a half a dozen or so. I'm terrible at doing this. I always say I'm going to get to fan and follower questions for my guest, and I never do. But I know that your fan base is very devoted to the two of you. And so I have made myself a promise tonight to keep that list right here. I'm going to make sure I get to those questions. We can either do the questions first or we can let you channel first, whatever you want to do.
Hey, you're the man. Tell us. Now, I do think we're going to have a second person who wants to speak tonight.
Do you want? You know what? I think I'm going to just be quiet. And who am I to make them wait? I look forward to this every time I have the two of you on. So if you want to do them back to back, we can. The show is yours, Barry, and God bless you.
Okay. We are going to have the parents of Jesus here. We've channeled with Joseph before, and he's an amazing spirit. And I just heard that he would like to speak first for us, and then we will have the mother of Jesus with us. Good evening, everyone. I cannot tell you how happy I am to be able to come to you at this time. You are about to celebrate the birth of my child. My child is so very, very special. Mary and I did not realize. Now, the angels had come to us. They had told us. They had said that your child will change the world. Well, in those days, our world was Fairly simple. The Romans controlled it. You did what the Romans said. If they said go pay taxes, you paid taxes. In our wildest imagination, we never ever conceived of the miracle that we were to bring forth. Imagine the miracle of God that a newborn baby would come onto this earth and would affect the lives of billions of people. You see, to us, 100 people was a lot. Oh, yes, there were times of violence that many people would draw together. Many would be killed. You see, it was a very, very difficult time. God sent this child to us at one of the most difficult times in the history of man. How could a little baby, something so small, something so delicate, change the world? That could only happen because of God. The miracles of God are everywhere, but there was none ever greater than this. You see, for the greatest story ever told to take place, a birth had to take the attention of the world. Mary and I were very, very simple people. We were poor. We were just trying to get along. I loved Mary so. When I looked into her eyes, I knew goodness. I knew that she had served God. Now, I didn't understand God. That couldn't take place until my son began his ministries. He told us as he was growing up that he would do much. He told us there was a single God. He told us that God had more powers than anyone on earth could ever conceive of. The angels told us that he was so special. The angels came to us. They said, you will see people come forth. There are many that want to see this miracle that you have just given life to. The wise men, I cannot ever tell you what we thought when these incredible individuals appeared for us. You see, they had traveled hundreds and hundreds of miles to see our son. We couldn't conceive of that. They brought us these magnificent gifts. They gave us gold. They gave us frankincense. They gave us things that we had never, ever seen before. They said, we have talked to Herod, the king, and he would like to know where you are. But we know that he is very evil, and we know that he would kill your son. Take these gifts and use them. Use them to flee. Leave Judea. Get out of here. Go. Take your child where he can be safe. Use these gifts to pay for your journey. We know you're very poor. We know there's no way you can leave. But use these gifts. God has told us to bring them. The angels have led us to you. You must do what you need to assure that this child lives his life. I don't think any of you out there can conceive of what it was like to give birth to the baby Jesus. When we held him, you could feel love. You could feel the angels protect him. I hope that all of you celebrate this holiday season. Help others. Show love to others. Know that giving to others, the charity, know that there are people that are hurting deeply in this time that they should be celebrating. There are many that are very lonely. There are many that are contemplating suicide. Do what you can for others. Use this holiday season as a time of affirmation that you will do what is right. So I thank you. I thank you for allowing me to speak. I know that all of you want to hear from my wife. She is standing here, and I know that she is ready. And she knows that our son is very close as well. So I would like you to hear a few words from my beloved wife, Mary. God is the most amazing energy that you will ever know. He brought his energy to Joseph and myself. On that incredible day, thousands of years ago, we gave birth. Jesus came to help all humans. He knew exactly what his life was going to be like. He knew that it was up to him to save mankind. When you celebrate Christmas, you are celebrating the birth of this incredible human energy that came forth to save all humans, to lead humans to living good lives, to lead humans to lead lives that would assure that when they arrived in heaven, they would be greeted and that they would know that they did as they were supposed to. Our son was the epitome of love. Our son was the epitome of helping others. He had a unique ability to cure, to perform miracles, to do acts that other individuals had never seen nor heard of. He lived a short life. But think of this. His words affected people for thousands of years. His words started a religion that has led many to lead good lives and to be accepted into the realms of heaven. His life was like no other. You see, today and this week, you are celebrating his birth. Without his birth, there could never have been the resurrection. You see, the resurrection is the most magnificent miracle the humans have ever witnessed. Without his birth, billions of people would not have been able to live good lives, help others, and assure that humans could continue to evolve. You see, the birth that you are celebrating this week is the reason that humans are still here. It is the reason that God is doing what he needs to do to preserve human evolution. You see, it is only the birth of the baby Jesus that is the reason you are here today. Without his words to guide humans, there would be no one here. You see, there's many other planets where no one lives. But on this planet, humans are continuing to evolve. So you see, I want you to understand the importance of the birth of which you celebrate. Yes, we were his parents. Yes, we loved him more. We loved him more than you can imagine. The day of his passing was the worst day of our lives. But learning of the resurrection has shown us the true purpose of his birth. So, I want you to know just how happy we are that we can help you celebrate this wondrous occurrence. Know that you can pray to my husband, to myself, to the angels, to my son. Know that every prayer that you do is heard. Know that they cannot all be answered, but they are heard. And those that can be, you will be guided to the answers. So, thank you for listening to our messages on this day. Thank you for helping us celebrate. You see, we still celebrate over here in heaven. We were chosen to participate in an incredible miracle. But you only have to look around you to see the miracles of God. Yes, our miracle was special. But the fact that you can celebrate the birth of our child, the fact that you can help others, the fact that you can bring happiness, all of these things are powers that God has given you. Do not allow Christ to leave Christmas. There are many that don't believe. Do what you can to lead. Do what you can to show love. And enjoy this wonderful and blessed season. Amen.
I'm going to add this to that. It's really saddens me. I don't know if I ever told you guys a story about, and this didn't happen too long ago. I was out and about doing something here in town, and I had my clerics on, and I was walking down a sidewalk, and I see this young girl, um, anywhere from late teens to mid 20s age range. Not sure exactly how old she was, and she's walking towards me. Just looked like a normal, everyday schoolgirl, going to school or coming home from school or out shopping or whatever. And as we're walking past one another, I see her look at, she's just staring at the collar. And as we pass by, I can see in my side view that she kind of gets up on her toes and starts to lean at me. So naturally, I just kind of leaned away, thinking she was either going to bump into me or maybe jump on me. And she yelled in my ear at the top of her lungs, "Jesus isn't real." And then just a matter of factly just kept walking away. I pulled out the bottle of holy water I had in my pocket and blasted her from behind. And just kept. But I thought to myself that, and I've had friends that I've known for a long time. Now, these are adults who I've always respected and considered were relatively intelligent people. I've had some people like that tell me, um, they proved that Jesus didn't really exist. And when someone says that to you, you know that there's no need to argue the point.
No.
Um, but I feel so sad when I just look at them, and I can't tell you what my face does. My face must do something odd because they kind of always give me an odd look, and I just change the subject because there's no arguing it. But it amazes me even to this day that somebody would, if you don't believe he was God, or you don't even believe he was um, a gifted prophet, and maybe you just thought he was a normal rabbi or not. Um, that's one thing, but to say and believe that he really didn't exist, there's been so much proof, concrete evidence over thousands of years that has proven he lived. So it really saddens me that when I get that type of reaction from people, or I hear, intelligent adults look me in the eye and say, they proved, you know, I'm waiting for them to come up with the proof. I don't want to go, what proof are you talking about? And that leads to an argument. I'm waiting for the proof, but it never comes. And it's just a sad state of affairs. So, yeah, we're in trouble. The country's in trouble right now. And it's funny how Mary, she was spot on when she said, we probably wouldn't be here had it not been for Jesus.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether you believed him or not, we probably really wouldn't be here. Um, Now that we're on how I know what I wanted to ask you guys. How was your guys' Thanksgiving? I didn't get a chance to reach out to you and ask you about that because I know you recently moved from Pennsylvania to Utah.
Well, would you believe it's 2.5 years now?
Wow.
Time's just flying. They say time flies when you're having fun. So I guess it's living proof for it.
Yeah. Did
So
you guys have a nice quiet one? Did you
it
get to
was
see
very
any
nice.
family or?
Well, our granddaughter lives with us.
Oh, very
So it
cool.
was just us and our granddaughter.
I'll tell you, the excitement we're having here right now. I mean, we're in Park City, Utah, and we're at the base of the mountains. But I mean, we're in a development. We got yards, and there's a park in back of us. We've been having a herd of elk that is sleeping in our neighborhood
And eating our shrubs.
and eating our shrubs. They have so far this week, they have destroyed all of our ewes. They pulled them out, and I guess it tastes good. I don't know. But we've got over a dozen elk that seem to decide that our front yard's not a bad place to hang out.
Do you have snow yet?
Oh, bunches.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they're having so much trouble
That's.
finding food.
I mean, you guys are living in a Christmas movie.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at about 7,000 feet. So we are, we're fairly high here. But we've never had elk like this coming into our neighborhood before. I mean, we got snow in the high country, but we've still got the sunsides. There's still some food up there for them. But now they nailed all our yew bushes, and heaven knows what they'll get tonight.
So in the summertime, we feed the hummingbirds, and evidently in the winter, we're going to be feeding the elk.
Yep, that was like me too. I don't know where all of these cats I'm not a cat person, but all of a sudden all these cats have shown up at my house, not anybody else's house, my house. So since we work at an animal hospital, the wife brought home all these carriers and took the doors off and stuck cat beds in them and blankets over the top of them and have positioned them under the front eave of the house in different areas for them to have a place to go and hide and sleep in. And then she's got, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think at last count, probably 6 bowls out there,
Oh my.
full of food and fresh water. And it is what it, things like that. Just there's no explaining why things like that happen. You just go with it. And what are your guys' plans for Christmas?
It's going to be very quiet. Uh, as I said, our granddaughter works up at the ski area, and she's not going to pass up that overtime she gets to work Christmas. And we're actually we're going to be doing our radio show on Sunday,
Christmas night.
Christmas
Oh,
night,
very
channeling
cool.
history.
Very, very cool. What's New Year's Eve like with you two party animals?
Go to bed about 10, and that's a late night for us.
Yeah.
And
Sharon does that too. She goes to bed and says, "Wake me up," because she knows I'm going to wait up till the stroke of midnight. And I have this ritual that I started doing. A Cuban friend of mine gave me this ritual to do, um, where I don't drink, but that's the one night I do drink. He says it doesn't matter if you don't drink. You get non-alcoholic if you want champagne, but you got to at the stroke of midnight you got to pop a champagne bottle, have at least one sip of it. You have to eat 12 grapes, one for each stroke of
Mhm.
the 12. Um, you've got to, if you want to do some traveling, and usually traveling is associated with, making money or good things. Walk around the house with your luggage. So I walk from my master bedroom to the living room and back with my luggage, and then you're supposed to mop your kitchen with ice, then throw the ice out after you're done mopping. I do that. And I'll tell you, since I started doing that, I've just the years that have followed after a New Year's Eve of doing that have just been incredible years. It's people probably laugh that me of all people would be superstitious like that, and I'm really not a superstitious person. But this gentleman, said I have this routine that goes way back in my family from way, way back in the day, and we've always been truly blessed. So give it a shot. It couldn't hurt. So I did it. And, Sharon kind of gives me the weird look when she sees me on my hands and knees mopping the floor by hand with a handful of ice. But
We got plenty
um,
of ice here right now.
what else do I want to ask you guys? Okay, I got some questions here for you. I know what I want to ask you guys. Do I have? Okay. Now before I show you this. These are terrible pictures. I should have sent the pictures, the downloaded photos to Zach to put up on the screen. I forgot. Now, I remember years ago when we first met, you were channeling through, for lack of a better term, a spirit board that you had designed. It didn't look like anything I'd ever seen. You had taken them to events, Paracons, and paranormal conferences, and you did a lot of channeling off of this. But over the years, as your discernment, your gift of discernment, um, got better and better and sharper, um, you stopped using the board. You didn't need to use the board anymore. Then my friend sends me this picture. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
No, I have not.
It's the new Jesus Holy Spirit Ouija board.
oh, jeez.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. Um, there's no words.
Well, the words are people want to make money. We had the guides themselves designed the board that we use, and it was so simple. It's just a circle. It had the letters and numbers in a circle.
You sent me the design on it. I'll
Yeah.
tell you why. I have a confession. You probably didn't expect to take confession tonight, Father Barry, Mother Connie. But here's my confession. I never made the board. I'll tell you why. I didn't want to give the situation more energy than it deserved. But my wife and I had such a bad experience with a case where we didn't know what we were doing, and we used a Ouija board at this paranormal case trying to help this couple. This was many years before I started training in the spiritual warfare field, in the deliverance ministry field. So I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't recognize that this case, there was something demonic at this case. And so that just made everything worse, and it just snowballed into something really, really ugly. And so I was almost a couple of times, I was right there. I had the materials. I was about to make one. You sent me the schematics, the directions on how to make this board. And I just didn't, because I still was suffering some shell shock from having gone through that situation with the wife, and that was a very ugly case. Whatever was at this location followed us home and took up residence here at the house for about 2 months, and my wife was she was the target of that attack, and that attack actually left her with 3 very rare forms of cancer, and so we fought for her life. And I'll tell you, I'm glad I'm bringing that story up. One, because now I'm able to and not get so emotional I can't finish what I want to say. But what I'm saddened about when people come to me and say they proved that Jesus didn't really exist, Jesus wasn't real, and I get a lot of that sometimes. If I know these people have never truly experienced legit, true divine intervention, or experienced and witnessed a miracle, which I have both on several occasions. And that's what I'm saddened about and feel sorry for, because these people, if they had seen and experienced some of the things that I've experienced, they most certainly would know there is a God, and Jesus is very real, and so is the Virgin Mary and the Holy Family and the Holy Spirit and all that. And so I think that's what saddens me, that I wish everybody could experience true divine intervention, or witness a miracle even once in their life, to know.
Well, by the way, I think that you have to have faith. He'll support faith with miracles. But I think he's not going to say, I have to prove this to you. I think that you have to make that decision. I mean, just like I've had 100% proven medical miracle when he healed my heart attack. I mean, the surgeons went in to work on everything, fix the damage. When they come out, they say we couldn't find any damage.
But yet the tests showed that there was damage.
Yeah, I saw it on the screen before we went in for the surgeries. So, I mean, I've seen that miracle. I've seen so many things that spirits are capable of. I mean, you can't. I mean, I think all of us, you were talking about the paranormal when we started, and we all start the same way. You get a ghost box, you hear the voices, you go out with a psychic, hope they can do something, get the infrared cameras. But once you are convinced that there is another side, an afterlife, then the next step is you got to believe there's a God.
Yeah.
I mean, I can prove it. I mean, I can show you the miracles. I can do all the things. But if you have a guy, just like you said, if you have a skeptic, you might as well save your breath.
Yeah.
Yes, they'll figure it out when they get on the other side. Oh, Shawn was right and I was wrong.
Yeah, everybody will eventually experience that one.
Yep.
Experience that one miracle when the time comes. At the very end, regardless of who you are, what you've done, everyone talks to God at the end. At the very end, everyone talks to God.
You will go into heaven.
Like my friend, I had a good friend who was dying of advanced. He was an atheist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've known him all my life, and he was living on the East Coast, actually on his deathbed of advanced colon cancer. And this was a night when I thought my wife I was going to wake up in the morning. She was going to be laying next to me dead. She was that bad with her cancer. And so I had left the house. I snuck out. My 3 mastiffs were sleeping with her, so I know she was safe. But I left and went to this all-night prayer chapel around the corner. And I remembered something my mother did when she was asking God to spare my father's life, and he was also dying one time from a very rare disease way, way, way back before I was born. Well, I crawled on my hands and knees from the front door of the church all the way to the altar, threw myself down on the altar, and begged for God to spare Sharon's life. Came home. This is like 3 in the morning. My phone is ringing, and I pick up the phone, and it's my best friend. And I had just talked to him, maybe a week before that, and he could even barely talk, but he was like now almost sounding normal to me, and I'm all, what's going on, buddy? He goes, I had to call you because I just saw God,
Mm.
and God wanted me to call you and tell you that Sharon's gonna live. Well, because Sharon was given a death sentence, she wasn't supposed to survive. Um, and he died very shortly after that, getting that call. And Sharon, she survived. Um, we recently had a full body CT and MRI and a bunch of other tests, and she had medullary thyroid cancer, which spread all through the lymph nodes in her throat, which turned into a rare form of throat cancer, a squamous cell carcinoma of the tongue. Her whole tongue in a matter of like 4 weeks became like a golf ball, nothing but a golf ball size tumor. She couldn't swallow water, even swallow water for months, couldn't eat for like a year, had a feeding tube in for like a year. She wasn't supposed to still be here. But that night, everything turned around. And so I'm just saddened that more people don't have situations like that happen to where they are really shown beyond a shadow of a doubt that all of this is.
But the first step was you believed. You had faith. Faith is the foundation that everything's built upon.
You know what I want to do real quick, or I'm going to really feel sad. The show, I'm going to have to kick you guys out of here in about 8 minutes. I don't want to do that without making sure everybody, every time you guys are on afterwards, I get all these people reaching out to me. How can I follow the two of them? So I want you to take a moment to tell everybody about your shows, when and how they can see them, and where they can go. You've written, I'm so jealous, and I know jealousy is not good. I mean this lovingly, but I'm so jealous that it took me years to write my first book. I got channeling help to write the second book, but you've written so many phenomenal books. I mean, I've talked to people on the other side of the world that have bought your books. So tell everybody about where they can go and check out your books and about your shows and your new show coming up next year.
Okay. The latest book is called Messages of God for a Modern World. And what we did is we took 60 messages that we had channeled on our Wednesday podcast. Our Wednesday podcast, it's called A Weekly Message from Jesus. It's not a very original name, but, it works. And we channel a message from him, usually lasts about 15, 20 minutes. But every week, and we've been doing this now for over 2 years, he comes up with a unique message. He ties things together that are just amazing. I mean, they're really cool. But we published 60 of them. It's up on Amazon. You can purchase it. It's on ebook. We're in the process of having it translated into French and Spanish as well.
Oh, very cool.
So we're trying to reach out so everybody can read these notes. As I say, it's on Amazon. We've got a couple websites. Words of God Then and Now is one. spiritspredict.com is one. We have a new one called barrystrom.com. That's pretty original too. We have a YouTube channel. We're over 360 videos on our YouTube channel now. We put all the radio shows up, all the podcasts, and that's in my name, Barry Strom. We do our little radio show on Parax Network on Sunday nights at 9 Eastern, where we channel a historic figure every week. So it's the only show where all the guests are dead.
But their bodies are dead. Their souls are still quite alive.
Yeah.
So it's a little on the different side. And the third week of January in that neighborhood, we're going to be starting a show on Voice America. and it's going to be a complete study of the afterlife. So on this show, we're allowed to have live people. So I'm expecting you to come on sometime in one of the beginning shows and talk about evil and exorcism and all that stuff.
Very,
So
very good.
it's
Absolutely.
pleasant to be able to have a live guest for a change. So we'll see how all that works out.
I'm going to ask you something that you probably can't talk about, and it's okay. I know you did some work. You can't talk about any cases. You did some missing person and unsolved murder case type work with using your gift to try and solve some of these things. I thought about you guys a lot the other night when that murder first took place in Idaho with the 4 college students. And I've talked to other people that have done that kind of work. And even if the police don't come right out and talk about using psychics, they'll take the information for what it's worth and do with it what they feel the need to. And I have some psychic friends that they'll even go as far as to channel and contact the killer if it's an old murder case and they suspect that even possibly the killer is dead, and they'll contact the killer and get a confession and try to tie up some loose ends. But when I see this case where these 4 kids are killed in their sleep in a home where there was other children in there sleeping and nobody heard a thing or saw anything, and it's been a month and they haven't had anything. When you see and hear about things like that, do you ever just want to say, even though they haven't reached out to you, do you ever want to just see if you can channel and get some information, and whatever they want to do with it, they do with it, but relieve yourself of that burden to just get that information to them? What they do with it is up to them. But do you ever do that type of work?
We have done that, yes. We did a case one time where we let detectives speak with the murder victim.
Wow.
So we have done that. But what we find is that there's so much resistance among the police to it.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've actually given them very good information, and they basically ignore it. So we've really pulled away from it. I thought about doing it, but their tip line up there has got over 2,000 tips on it. I mean, it's just, there's so much going on that if I called up as a psychic and said, "Here's the name of your murderer," I'd hear click, and that'd be the end of it.
Wow.
So when if God feels that it's necessary, sometimes we will step in. But that one is they got that one so messed up there in Idaho that it's got to sort out for a while.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
If it reaches a point that things settle down and they can't solve it, then we'd probably consider thinking about it. But it's not as easy. Believe me, it's not as easy as it sounds. People just simply don't believe.
Yeah. And I think it's also hit and miss too. I've spoken to some law enforcement people who, some are like, they give you the big time stink eye if you even bring up a psychic medium.
Oh
But
yeah.
then there's some that truly believe. They're like, I could meet with one in their home or even privately, bring them into my home, but I could never bring them into my office or tell my superiors about it. But yes, I do believe in that. And if you know a good one, send them my way. There are some law enforcement people out there that do believe. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie. It's an old movie. I can't believe it. When it first came out, it passed me by. I didn't see it, but it's called The Gift. You guys might enjoy that movie. And it's about an unsolved murder case in this one town, and the person that was murdered keeps coming to this one town psychic who half the town loves her, half the town thinks she's a fraud and a whack job, but she's truly gifted. But it's a really, really good movie, and I heard rumors that it's based on actual true story. So what else do I want to say to you guys? I think I didn't get to all the questions. You talked a little bit about ghost hunting. Most people that know you and love you know that you guys owned and lived in a haunted antique store back in Pennsylvania, not far from Gettysburg, and you've ghost hunted at Gettysburg and have taken some of the most awesome spirit photos I've ever seen.
Yeah, we got some.
Um,
I photographed 6 angels on the battlefield.
do you miss that, or
Yeah,
like
it
you?
was fun. Well, whenever I go back, I got to go back out because I fought there in my prior life. So I always go back and talk to the guys that I fought with. So they know if I get in the area, I got to come back and talk to them. So oh yeah,
Do oh my gosh! Give me your best. And they probably told you why. Do they still think they're fighting, or was that
no,
just
yes.
Some do.
Oh yeah. Last time I took some friends out and I had a ghost box. I walked up and I said, "Hi guys, recognize me?" Everybody hears, "Yes, sir, Captain." And you better keep your head down. The damn Yankees are still shooting at us. I'm going, really? It's no,
oh
it's a
man.
different dimension. There's a dimension of the unknowing dead. It's the angels let them go probably for a couple hundred years and then pull them out of it. There's no time over there, so I've channeled soldiers that thought they were still fighting. They were in the exact spot they'd been in 150 years earlier.
I'm gonna try. It might not be this year. It might be 2024. 2025 is my 25th wedding anniversary. We're planning a trip to Ireland. You two are going to be two people that I'm going to reach out to and say you just got to go. I'll try to make sure the prices are like very reasonable, and everything will be taken care of in the price of the ticket. And we'll probably be there about 10 days, but we're going to all of these very spiritual, religious, and supernatural places. It'll be very cool. But in 2024, I'm going to try and finally get out to that uh, Gettysburg Battlefield Bash Paracon. I heard that's a fun time. And but guys, before we get cut off, you both know I love you and respect the two of you, and I wish, like I said, I'd have you guys on every week if I could. Reach out to me whenever you want me to come on that new show of yours. I'd be honored.
It'll be in February.
If I was there, I'd give you both a big hug and a kiss.
I think you'll probably be the first live guest I ever have.
You two have the very merriest of Christmases, the happiest of New Year's. May all your dreams and wishes for next year come true. And God bless you both. Thank you for being here, and I'll be in touch.
Okay.
Thank you, Shawn. God bless you and Sharon. Have a wonderful Christmas as well.
Merry
You
Christmas.
too. Good night, guys. I'll see you later.
Night.
Night.
Bye bye. Barry and Connie Strom. You can go to my Facebook page too and find them, or the page for the show, and see their websites and all that. Alrighty. I will be here this coming, what day is today? Today's Monday, this Friday. Originally wasn't going to have a show this Friday, but my guest was going to be on the very first Friday of this month, and my computer went down. My internet went down that day, and I had to reschedule her. So I rescheduled her for this day. There's only 2 shows left of this year. I'm taking the 30th off, leading into the last weekend of the month. So there's only 2 live shows left of this year. But this Friday, the 23rd, Morgan Daimler, an authority on the world of the Fae. That's going to be awesome. So I'll see you guys there this Friday. CommunityPayItForward.us. CommunityPayItForward.us. Go there, find somebody that needs some help, donate to their cause. USOCC.org is my church if you're interested in wanting to know more about my church. Go to BishopJamesLong.com. You'll find the link there to his YouTube channel for Bible study, Wednesday afternoons and Sunday afternoons at 5 p.m. Pacific. You'll also find a link there to Spreaker that will take you there for night prayer, which is Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Thank you to Zach and Adrian Clayton. I couldn't do this show without them, my co-producers. Thank you to Things Network. Thank you to Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment. Thank you to Skeleton Key Network. Thank you to PACT, little p, capital ACT, Podcasting for All Coming Together channel. for all these networks simulcasting my show. God bless you all for doing that. Bad joke time. I'm going to pull a joke that one of you sent in out of a haunted carnival barker hat to try and put a smile on everybody's face before I say good night. Why did Adele cross the road? To say hello from the other side. I guess you have to be an Adele fan to get it. And I guess I'm not an Adele fan. It must be maybe is that one of her songs? Say hello from the other side. I'm gonna pull another joke. For those of you that aren't an Adele fan, I know Adele's huge. Let me pull another joke. What's the action like at a circus? Intense. Good night, Danny. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. Good night, everyone. I love you all. Peace.